This is Creager with Creager Equipment. Today I'm going to walk you through the Jenkins Super Duty brush mower. This has been redesigned. That's the reason we're going to walk through this. I'm going to show you three different things. I'm going to show you how it does cutting cactus, which is a big problem where I am in Breckenridge, Texas, in this area of the country. I'm going to show you some before and after, and then why we do it and how this works. We're going to do some extreme mowing. I'm going to call that mowing in areas like this, where you've come and you've cleared something out before. This is mesquite growing back to maintain your land. We'll call that extreme mowing. And then I'm going to show you what it does with mesquite trees in particular. Jenkins rates this cutter at 7 inches. I would beg to differ. I've cut trees that are at least 10 inches. We've cut stumps that are bigger than that. So the 7 inches, again, I think that's a little understated. So what's new about this mower? The Super Duty is currently out of production. Jenkins has redesigned it. They were having some issues with some machines spiking and sending too much gallons per minute or too much flow to the motor, or people accidentally putting in their machines in high flow. And so they've redesigned it. They've added a block that's going to limit the amount of flow that goes to the motor. These are not out on the market yet, but they've given them to some people to put them through the paces, really work them and see how they work before the production begins. So we're lucky enough to have one of these. Really appreciate Jenkins to let us have one. Before I get started, just tell you a couple of things about the mower that's a little different. Of course, you've got a big rolling wheel here that goes across the back. When you're operating the machine, you're typically going to have it on the ground. It is a heavy cutter. This is a 7-foot model. It's 9 foot long. I think it's about 2,450 pounds. So you've got a lot of weight in front of you. The benefit of that is you can really reach under trees, out over ponds, and make sure that you get out there and get what you want to get. It also significantly counterbalances you, I would say more than a normal brush cutter, because it is on the ground. If you want to put it on the ground, it's so long that a lot of that weight is in front of you. You have this is floating hitch here, so you can see the adjustment there, where when you pick up, you're going to have a little space. That way, if you hit a stump or something else, then it will jump up. Also, it allows the mower to tilt left and right as you're going and follow the ground. So a lot less adjustment whenever you're doing normal mowing. I would say probably 80% of the time I run this on the ground. You can lift up the front if you'd like to lift it up and get a higher cut. You can also pick it up like a traditional mower. So those are some of the things that are a little different. I'll get in the machine now. We'll start with the first part, which is the cactus clearing. Okay, here we are. I'll talk to you a little bit about this cactus we're talking about. So here's my fence line where I've mowed probably 8 months ago, and then I did it again maybe 4 months ago, and then I've done it 1/3 time. And you can see that where we've mowed, the cactus is gone. It's not coming back all the way down my fence line in both directions. Just to show you what it looked like before, here is my neighbor's property, just across the fence, and you can see basically, as far as you can see, everywhere that there's a place, cactus is growing. Of course, there's a bunch of mesquite as well. It grows pretty thick. In the old days, we'd push this up with bulldozers, and that's great. But everywhere you leave a leaf like that, it's going to come back, and you look in a year or so, and you're going to have a patch that's pretty good size. It's going to continue to spread. Just to show you, here's my fence line, and if you look at my property where I haven't mowed, you see the same thing, where we just have mesquite, and anywhere there's not a mesquite tree, you basically have cactus growing. So why is it okay to mow it? It's okay to mow it because with those drop blades on the Jenkins, you can get it down to where you can cut this and really chop it up. When you chop up the cactus like this, this is one cut. If you back drag it, it's gonna be cut up a little bit more. When you chop it up like that, what happens is it takes all the moisture out of it. It doesn't have the ability to rejuvenate and survive, and you eradicate the cactus. I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna mow. One of the beauties of the Jenkins is it does have a drop blade, and for anything like this where you're trying to get real low, drop blade is the best way to be. Just to show you, see how close that is down to the ground. If I angle it, I can get almost in the dirt. So with that drop blade, you're able to really take care of an area like this. So this is where I'm gonna start to mow. The other thing about the Jenkins, these small trees, they're not a problem. I'll take a little bit of time with them just because I like to back drag and not leave wood. But I'm gonna take and mow through here, get up to that patch of cactus up there, and that's what we'll take care of. Okay, nice and easy. You can look at where all this cactus was before. You can see the destruction that we have here. What we've got that's on the ground is basically mutilated. It will take a little time for this to go away, but you're talking a few months. And again, whatever does come back, we mow it again. It's nice and easy. You saw how fast it was. You got to see a couple trees go down. Like I said, the mesquite trees are no problem whatsoever. Cedar trees are even easier. Just a great piece of equipment. People ask me about mowing mesquites, and they're really worried because mesquites, healthy ones, have a lot of thorns like this. And that thorn will take out an ATV tire pretty easy. Can take out small car or truck tires. And so my dad in particular will say, you can't mow them because you're going to throw all that everywhere. And what I'll tell him is, yes, you'll throw it all everywhere, and then pretty soon that'll go away. But if I leave that tree there, it's going to grow for the next 50 years. So I'm not worried about mowing mesquites. Mow them again, and then wait a little bit of time, and you won't have any problems. Then your property will look like this over here, where we showed the fence row, where, you know, we did this 8 months ago, and you can walk through here, and there's nothing that worries me whatsoever on this property. We're going to go to what I was calling extreme mowing, and what that'll be is places I've cleared before where you have mesquite growing back up, or other difficult mowing situations. Okay, so let's get to the extreme mowing. First of all, I want to show you here on the deck of this. You see those little spots right there? Don't be alarmed. That's rain. That's what used to come out of the sky in Texas before this drought we're in. Looks like it's starting to sprinkle. So here is an area where I've cleared before. You've got these mesquite trees trying to come back. Of course, as you can imagine, each space where you see that's mesquite trees that I took out the last time that I mowed. I did do that with the Jenkins mower. We're gonna come through here and just show you how easy it is to mow. One thing I'll mention, when I do get to a tree, sometimes you'll see me lift up and cut a little higher on the tree. When I'm doing that, I'm just being lazy. I wanna make sure that I cut it and I push it so it falls away from me. Otherwise, it piles up on my deck, and after a while, I have to get out and pull them off my deck. So that's what you're seeing. So we'll go with the mowing, and I'll be back to you in a minute. See how the cut is? Nice cut, real low, nice and clean. You can pretty much go as fast as you want. Of course, I don't mow and rabbit, but here's a good example of how it's taking care of the mesquite. Very, very low to the ground, good cut. That's gonna discourage that real good, real fast. So that's the way it looks when you're mowing. Something a little bigger like sumac or blackberry, small trees, you don't have to slow down, don't have to raise up, just go right over it. Okay, so here's that big tree we were just looking at. Like I say, it's at least 12 inches now that I'm looking at it. At least 12 inches down here at the bottom. This isn't what Jenkins advertises for. They advertise 7 inches and below. I'm gonna show you that this will take care of this. If you were cutting this kind of stuff all day, every day, then you might want a bigger cutter. You may want a high flow machine. If you do, we sell those as well. We sell the Brush Wolf Alpha, which does up to 10 inches all day, every day. And it's a great machine. But if you occasionally need to do this and you got a place to maintain, I'd say that the Jenkins brush cutter is a wonderful value for that. So there it is. I'll put it in the mount and we'll knock her down. So there you go, no time at all. Took me longer because I was messing with the camera. You can see the stump here, and I didn't grind it down as much as I could, but you can see how low to the ground you actually can get with that. There's a little bit of a high spot right there. You can see how wide that is. Cut it from this side. With these big chunks of wood, I really wouldn't recommend chopping them up with the cutter. I'd go ahead and pile this up and let it rot a little bit before I did that. But just to show you, 11, 12-inch tree, absolutely no problem. Pushed it right over, cut it, it's out of my way. It's not where you're gonna do most of the time, but you can do it with this machine. So just to sum this up, Jenkins cutter, wonderful cutter, great for maintenance of a place, great for small business. If you do a lot of clearing, much faster than a mulcher. It does quite a bit of work as you're moving, 7 foot wide, 9 foot long. You can do bigger trees. You can do, again, what I call extreme brush cutting. The smaller stuff's real easy. Anything that's 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, even these tall trees like this, you just have to take a little time to back drag and go over it. You're gonna cut it up and get rid of most of that material. Cut something a couple of times, especially this cactus. The mesquites that you knock down that want to come back. It's going to discourage that in such a way it's not going to grow back. So just a great product. Real happy with the new design. Haven't had any problems. Never had any problems with my old one, by the way. But we're going to put it through additional testing, and Jenkins will have them out soon. If you need a big cutter because you got a big machine and you cut big material all the time, this is not high flow, but we sell those as well. We sell the Brush Wolf brand, and they're absolutely an amazing cutter. So anything that you need, remember www.creagerequipment.com. Thank you.